How's it going? It's Dr. Shulman, and I am going through these Math for Teacher videos. I'm about to do one for fractions and division. We've done so much fractions and division, but this one has its own section. Then after this, it's your first exam. Crazy, right? This is the last set of problems. I was making your test and I try to use like all of these different really cool problems. So I used some CUDA software. I used old test. I used questions from the actual old practice exams too. So I try to vary it as much as I could. And then I just use some of my own questions. So I hope it's good. I try to vary it, make it feel like this is stuff you could see if you were to take that exam. But here's the last group, fractions division stuff. It shouldn't be a while, but I hope you enjoy it. I'm sharing my screen. All right, so I'm going to go into Delta Math. These are the ones we're going to cover. This is 1G fractions and divisions. And I'm going to go to where I'm going to be writing all the work in on the side. And if you need access to this notebook, feel free to shoot me an email. I'm more than happy to share. So here we go. The first one's really long. All the rest of them are going to be way shorter. But I think this is really useful. And oh, I went too far. We want Microsoft 365. And we want the notebook. Honestly, never seen that movie, but I know some people like it. So, oops, I went too fast. I've been building this bridge program. So if you're struggling with math, need help, I made an entire other Delta Math with the bridge. There's like a 5-day. That's where all this stuff is because I made a really big bridge program for everybody who's struggling with college mathematics. So if you're curious, struggling with college math, I made a Delta workbook, and then there's like a 5-day series with all these really cool lessons. I know I'm just blathering right now, but I just thought I'd share. And remember, I'm going to combine these. I'm going to make Math with Teachers 1 and 2 have everything in it. Okay, so here we go. Instruction. This is the one we want. All the rest of these are going to be shorter, but the first one's going to be really long. But guess what? This is the last one, and hopefully it's useful. We're going to do a bunch of division problems. So while this loads, I'm going to shrink this. I'm going to split my screen. So I have all my stuff together. Here's everything we need. So let's actually go halves and halves. There we go. Let's go all the way down to 1G. So we have a good place to start. Here we go. No strategy. So this is the standard they want to know. No strategies for relating fraction to division. So what does that mean? So a fraction is literally division. You got your numerator, whatever it is, your denominator, whatever it is. So this just tells you what goes into what. It's a really great way to think about it, right? The top number I think is special. That's what gets to live inside the house. And there's 4, but a 4 can't fit into 3, so we put a decimal. That allows us to go 30. 4 goes into 37 times. That's 28 minus 2. And now as soon as I put that dot, I can put as many happy zeros as I want after it. And 4 goes into 20 what? 5 times 0.75. So this also means, right, 3 divided by 4 is the same thing as saying 3 times 1/4. That's the same idea. This is what they mean. A over B means copies of 1 over B. This means I can take the whole number 3 and multiply it by 1/4 and get 3/4. So that is what this says, right? We're going to see a bunch of different ways to divide, but this is what it means. It means AB means A copies of 1 times B, 3 copies of 1/4, 3/4. All right, let's get right into it, right? So I think I got to move my floating head. I think if I go to edit, yeah, let's go to the skills. Let's start. So here's the first one, a tape diagram. Here's a great way to see it. So the model below represents the division problem. I'll show you 3 ways to do it. 2 2/3 divided by 1/3. So here we go. We're going to multiply the bottom. We're going to add the top. 2 times 3 is 6 plus 2. So this is 8/3 divided by 1/3. Now division does what? Instead of dividing it, we can multiply by the reciprocal. So we're multiplying by 3/1. Now, when we're multiplying, it's top times top, bottom times bottom. So that is 24/3. 24 divided by 3 is 8. We already got the answer. What's another way? Top and bottoms can always cancel. So 8/1 still 8. And we can count them. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So if I have 2 and 1/3 and we break them into 1/3 pieces, this is the line way, we're going to get 8. Boom. See if I did it right. Ta-da, we can count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we could say how many groups of Y are in X. So we broke it down into the groups, and then you just counted them. That's beautiful. I did it the algorithmic way, but either way, guess what? You get the same answer. Let's keep going. So here we go. Oh, so this is the same idea about fraction matching. So I'll show it using the line, right? So this means, well, we have 1, 2, 3, and 3/4. All right, so we have 3 3/4 divided by 3/4. This is what this means. This means 3 3/4 divided by 3/4. I really don't like the orange, sorry. So this is 3 3/4 multiplied by 4/3. So this is going to be 12 plus 3. So this is 15/4 times 4/3. These cancel, and 15 divided by 3 is 5. That's how I would do it. But we can just count. So it's 3 3/4 divided by 3/4 equals 5. And we can count them. Oh no. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 groups. Beautiful. All right, to the next one. Oh, we get to see how well we can do being times. Let's see how it goes. 14 divided by 2. Select what it's equivalent to. So this is 14 times a half. This is what that means. Same thing as multiplying by the reciprocal. 15 divided by 5, that's 15 times the fifth. 10 divided by 20, that's a fraction. 12 divided by 6, that's 12 times 1/2, or 12 divided by 6 is 2. 7 divided by 35, that's 1, no, that's 1/7 times 35. I don't know. 7 divided by, I think it's 1/5. 5 divided by 45, I believe this is going to be 5/45. 2 divided by 70, I believe this is 1/35. 14 divided by 1/2 times 1/2 is the same thing as divided by 2. And here's a lot. Oh, 2 left. 14 divided by 1/7, 14 times 7. 18 divided by 1/3, 6. Oh, wait, that would be times 1/3 is 6. Oh man. So I missed one. So we could do it again. 5 divided by 100 is 5/100. 28 times 1/4, that is 7. 4 divided by 80 is the same thing as 1/4 times 80. Oh, it's the other way. Man, I'm struggling. All right, 50 times 1/5 is the same thing as 50 divided by 5. 60 divided by 8 is 2. 5 divided by 100 is 5/100. 12 divided by 1/4. The same thing as 12 times 4, which is 48. 35 divided by 7, which is 5. 2 divided by 1 by 14. The 1/7. 14 divided by 1/2, same thing as 14 times 2. 50 divided by 10 is just 5, or 50 times 1/10. 25 divided by 5 is just 5, or 25 times 1/5. 40 divided by is 40 times 10, which is 400. And here's the last one. 70 times 1/7 is the same thing as 70 divided by 7. And we did it. Cool. So try this yourself. These can get really tricky, very confusing at times. So take some time and really work them out. All right, so here's some multiplying by the powers. So when we have 42 times 10 squared, this is the same thing as 42 times what? Well, 10 to the first is 10. 10 to the second is 100. So it's the same thing as 42 times 100. Or we can just do 42 and add the 2 zeros. We just want to drop 2 zeros on it. So I think that's the answer. 4200. Let's see how they did it. They did it the exact same way. Added the 2 zeros. I like it. All right. So now we got some decimals. Oh, but we should be doing division. Sorry. So let's do division one. Here we go. So 93,000 divided by 10 to the third. Okay, so this is 10 to the third. So that's 1, 1, 2, 3 zeros. So the best thing we can do is we can just take this decimal and move it 1, 2, 3 spaces. So I believe this is going to be 93. That's the way that I would do it. Let's see how they do it. Nice. Divided by 10, divided by 10, divided by 10. Cross off 1, 2, 3 zeros. Beautiful. Pretty much the same method. All right, let's do this one, but we need a division. Here we go. Is it give me a harder one? Nope. Okay, it's just divided by 10. So basically, all we have to do, if I have this one, oh, because it's just division by 10. So it's if I have, and we want to divide this thing by 10, right? All we want to do is make it one step what? Smaller. So the decimal just has to move one place to be divided by 10. So that's going to be our answer. 149.417. That's all you have to do. Ta-da! Move the decimal one place to the left. Cool. Let's try another one. All right, we're going to move this one place to the left. 6800. 6,800. Oops. I just don't want to show the same thing twice. Ta-da! All right. So let's multiply and divide some fractions, but we're just doing division. So new problem. Here we go. Let's do this one. So I have 1/2 over 3/5. The best thing to do with this, I always like to write these horizontally. So it's going to be 1/2 multiplied by the reciprocal. So all I have to do is flip this over to make it 5/3. Top times top. What's 1 times 5? 5. What's 2 times 3? 6. You can't simplify it anymore. There's your answer. We got 5/6. Ta-da! Cool. All right, 3 to go. All right, I want a new problem, which is division. These are all multiply, multiply. Here's a division. Okay, so I have a -3/4 divided by -5. So two negatives, when you divide them, they're going to be positive. So I like to write this horizontally. So it's a -3/4 times, not -5, but ready? -1/5. We know these two minuses are going to make a plus sign. 3 times 1 is 3. And what is 4 times 5? 20. And you can't simplify because there's no number that 3 and 20 go into. So that's your answer, 3/20. We did it. And theirs looks exactly the same as mine. All right, now let's do one with the area model. Okay, this one looks scary. So let's do this algebraically and then try their model. So we did it the Tate model, algorithmically, which is on the way I'm doing, and then we'll do the area model. So it's 15 and 1/6 divided by 5. You multiply the bottom and you add the top. So 15 times 6, if you don't know how to do it, just write it out. 6 times 5 is 30. So it's 90. 90 plus 1. So we have 91/6 times the what? You flip it. You make it a fraction, you flip it over 1/5. What's 91 times 1? 91. What's 6 times 5? 30. I don't think you can simplify it. There she is. 91/30. So let's see how we do it this way. In the model below, express the value as a whole number, improper fractions, or a mixed number. Okay. So 5 times 3 is 15. And 5 times what is 1/6? I don't know. Let's see what it means. So 5 times something gives us 1/6. So let's figure this out. So we have to divide this by 6 to get the bottom. And 5 times what is going to give me something over 6? I believe 5 times what is going to give me pretty much 91, right? 91, oh, that's the first one. So we just want 1/6. Is it 30? 30 divided by 6? No, is it 1/5? Yeah, perfect. Because this 5 times 1/5 is just 1 because they cancel each other out. So this is the answer. It's 1/5/6. So this is what we have. 1/5 divided by 6. So how do we simplify that? So basically, I have to multiply this by the reciprocal. So I'll multiply this by what? 1/6 times 1/6. So it's 1/30. Ta-da! So according to the model above, whatever that crazy model is, I got 91/30. Oh, they want to make this a mixed number. So 30 goes into 91 3 times. So that's 90 with 1/30 left over. Oh, and that's what we get. Look, 3 and 1/30. Wow. This way is kind of cool. I've never seen it before. I'm just going to stick to the way that makes sense to me. But if you want to use this area model, just feel free to use it. Oh, I made a mistake. What's the right answer? Your model, 3 and 1/30. I got 3 and 1/30. 3 and 1/30 is the answer. My area model is wrong. They have 3 and 1/30 on top. So do I. What? But that's the same thing. All right, well, let's just see another one. And we can try it. Let's try this one. I don't know where I did wrong. I got the same answer as them. They were frustrated. So 7 times 4. Oh, we went division. So new problem. New problem. The multiply ones are really easy. Here we go. So 48 divided by 8. So this one's got to be 6. Because 6 times 8 is 48. And 8 times what is 1/3? Well, I might as well just get the answer first. 48 and 1/3 divided by 8. 48 times 3. 3 times 8 is 24, carry the 2. 3 times 4 is 12, plus 2 is 16. So that's 164 plus 1. So I have 165/3 times 1/8. So basically, I have 165/24. So we have to figure this out. So 24 goes into 165. I believe it's got to go in 6 times. (24 times 6). So there's your 4, there's your 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So that's 124. 6 times 4 is 24, carry the 2. 6 times 2 is 12 plus 4. Oh, it's 144. So 144. And this is 165. That's 1. So we have 21/24. So that's the answer, 6 and 21/24. And we can simplify this because they both are divisible by 3. Because 2 plus 1 equals 3. And 2 plus 4 equals 6. So we know we can divide it by 3. So it's 6 and 7/8. I believe that's the answer. 6 and 7/8 is the answer. 6 times 8 is 48. 8. Well, let's figure this out, though. Let's figure this out. I'm going to try this again. So 8 times blank equals 1/3. So we know we need a 3 on the bottom. 8 times 1/8 is 1. So to figure this out, to get this, we just have to times it by 3. So I believe it's 8 times 1/8 times 1/3 is 1/24. So that's what I believe it is. 8 times 1/24 is 1/3. I think that's the final answer. Let's see what we get. 8 times 6, 1/24. That's what I got. 8, 6, 1/24. Perfect. 6 and 7/8. Oh, it was 1/24. I just messed up when I was simplifying it. That's so frustrating. I got the answer right this way. All right, let's try one more. Sorry, I messed it up. All right, here we go. 8 times, I'm just going to use their area model. So 8 times, I'm not going to do the right long way or my way. There's no one right way. 8 times 4 is 32. Now we just have to figure out 8 times what gives us 5, 6. So right away, to figure this out, the first thing I'm going to do is that it's 1 times 6 has to be that. Beautiful. 1 times 6 is 6. Now, how do we get a 5? Well, it's just going to be the opposite. 8 times 5/8. Why is that the case? Because 8/1 times 5/8 is, and these cancel. It's really 40/8, which is going to be 5. So that's how I know what the numbers have to be. So all we have to do is just take 5/8 and divide it by 6 and we're good to go. So 5/8 divided by 6. That's all we need. So to do that, we do 5/8 times 1/6. 5 times 1 is what? 5. 8 times 6 is what? 48. And 5 can't go into 48, so we're done. 4 and 5/48 is the right answer. 4 and 5/48. And might as well use their fancy model because it's easy to use and it works. Ta-da! I got it. I got it. Sorry it took me 2 times to get this one right, but at least you could see my little mistakes along the way. All right, I think we got one more. Here's the last one. Let me find a division. Here we go. Oh, this one's easy. I could use their area model that we just did 3 times, but let me just make sure I can do this correctly. So the first thing you do is you make this into a mixed number. It's a mixed number. You make it, this is called mixed number, but we want to, this is called mixed number. And we just want to make an improper fraction. So to make it improper, all you have to do is multiply the bottom and add the top. -2 times 10 is -20. -20 plus 3 is going to be -23. It doesn't matter what the sign is because it's going to stay negative. So it's -23/10. You change this to multiply, then you flip this over. So it's just going to be, instead of divided by 1/3, times it by 3. Bottom times bottom is just 10. Top times top. 3 times 3 is 9. 3 times 2 is 6, so it's negative 69 over tenths, which is kind of a funny number. All your students will laugh at it, but they want this in as a mixed number. So all you have to do, just remember fractions division. So all I have to do is take 10 and see how many times it goes into 69. Well, it's going to go in 6 times, which makes that 60. And what's left over? It's 6 and 9/10. So there's your answer. Your final answer is a negative 6 and 9/10. Well, I hope this was useful. I hope all those methods made sense. The method that I feel like I learned the most from, and you can look through all the steps, was this one, this area model. I've never seen this way before, and I think it's really useful for division. I just think it's really interesting. So feel free to take a look at this, right? 5 times what is 10? That's gotta be 2. Great way to think about it. 5 times what is 1/4? And then it really pushes you to think about, how could I take a 5, multiply it by some number to make it into 1/4 and work it out? I think that'd be really good. So I hope this was useful. Guess what? We're done with all of 1. Try your best on the quiz, try your best on the test, and let me know if you have questions.